the physical train rather than, you know, go straight through like I did here. But yeah, that's pretty bad. Imagine if you were like driving on this. You'd have to like basically put your pedal to the metal just to get up. And going the other way, it's going to be like a roller coaster drop. I mean, the drop is just that bad. All right, this is garbage can. Okay, well, if I'm not picking up garbage, then that's bad. I kind of just placed this and really didn't think about it. Just wanted to get it done. We'll definitely get the garbage expanded, and then we'll worry about with the new sewage treatment pipe. I'll get an incinerator while I'm here as well. That's 25 grand. Yeah, a new NAM came out on the first day of March. NAM 31. Go give it a download. Definitely will make SimCity 4 competitive against 2013. Though I consider them to be very different games. So if you're, you know, looking for a competition or something, it's just doesn't really apply in my mind. Like if you treat this game like SimCity 4, you're going to be so disappointed. I kind of did the, you know, I was kind of in that mentality when I tried the beta tests, and yeah, I was kind of angry, but the game kind of warmed up to me. I'm still very concerned with the always online crap, but I don't think there's anything we can do about it. It's the first game from EA that I've bought since the first Mass Effect. So I mean, if you don't support EA, clothes need power. Are you telling me that I have a power problem? No? No, it seems to be working fine. I think it's because I just plopped it. Okay, now it's kind of working, so that's good. I don't know if the garbage truck will get stuck in the fire station. That was pretty crazy. It's like, you know, firefighters come down and looking for their truck, and it's the wrong type of truck. It's in their garage. But you know, those glitches every now and then, you know, will make me laugh. But if it's really, you know, prevalent, then I'm not very pleased. I wish there was a way to turn off achievements. Like, I remember back in the day, like the original SimCity, like for Super Nintendo, you got like this big pop-up, and Mr. What was his name? It was Mr. It wasn't Will Wright. Was it Mr. Wright or something? The guy with the green hair. He would like come up and say, "Oh, your city's a metropolis. You have, you know, 100,000 people," and he's like waving, and there's like triumphant music playing in the background. But here you just get this stupid, annoying thing that just pops up in the middle of your game. And I know I really could care less about it. Like, there's no promotion, or there's no, you know, nothing in it. It's just in your face. So I'm just waiting here to get 40 grand. While we do, I'm just checking a few things. Yes, my server right now, I'm in the Europe West server. Oh, 39.6, almost there. Yes, Europe West. I definitely need sewage treatment soon. It's almost overflowing here. I have an excess of 7. And now I have an excess of 77. Yeah, Europe West 2. Europe West 2. That's the server that I am currently on. But if people are on other servers and stuff, you know, you can always just invite them there. I think you can do up to 10 regions per server, and what? How many servers are there? 5? 7? Something like that. You can basically have up to 70 regions, which is okay, but I don't really understand why there's a limit. You want to be invited to the region? Oh, this is because I'm playing a private region here. It's invite only. So basically I would have to exit to the main menu to invite you. I'll definitely do that, but not right now. So I got basic education, and then I got the Department of Education so I can get high schools and stuff, and of course the Department of Utilities. Funny story, one of the first cities I made in the development beta, I did not build a Department of Utilities to my city hall, and that was horrible. I had like, I think I needed to get like 300,000 people for the next city hall upgrade, and I was like stuck at 100,000. And I built like a Department of Tourism and Education and Transportation and stuff, so I couldn't do it until I got my city hall upgraded. And so I was stuck with the basic utilities to support a city of like 300,000 people, so I had like a quarter of my city dedicated to like sewage pumps and another quarter dedicated to water towers and stuff. And by the time I finally got 300,000 people, like this whole area, like a quarter of my city was just all like ground pollution due to the sewage. It was horrible. And then I rezoned it, right, for growth, and all those Sims got sick, and then they went to work, and they got other Sims sick, and basically my whole city got sick, and I had to spend a ton on healthcare, and it just went down the toilet because I just couldn't keep up. So there's a kind of a tip for you. Make sure early on you get a Department of Utilities, because that way you can solve your sewage crisis and crap before it becomes a problem. No, I am not in sandbox mode. I'm just in the regular game. So it looks like I'm having a few traffic issues. Partly thanks to, the error that I made about this avenue here. Another thing that kind of got me here is, do you see these grids? They're not really full squares, they're rectangles. And so this kind of goes back to the point I made about the zoning and the grid lines. So if I was to, for example, throw up a street here, see where this is pointing here? Like that's where it wants you to make a street. This is probably a better example up here. It wants you to make a street like here, but if I throw an avenue up, it wants it right here. So this is a grid done right. And so you can basically see the consequences of it, because if I was to zone here, see how that line is nice in the middle? It shows that the zones can fully develop on each side of your grid. And here, they kind of go, what is that, about 3/4 of the way? So you can't really fully utilize your zone. So when I did this, these grids here, these streets here, is it north, south, east, west, I don't know, they're based on the avenue grid lines. But these streets, these avenues here, are based on the street grid line, because my bottom road here is a street. So it basically wants you, if you're putting an avenue next to a street, it wants it about here. And it should really be where this dotted line is here. Right? If I'm keeping it here, because that way, if I put it here, you would get a fully encompassed zone. Yeah, maximum packing, but space is at such a premium in this game that you really need to get every tile, or I guess there's no more tiles. You gotta get every piece of dirt to count. And because you don't have the choice to change between grid squares, it kind of annoys me, because I would actually prefer to make this, a lot more. I'd like to make a lot more of these with streets, because having avenue after avenue after avenue isn't, entirely realistic even in some of the biggest cities. But it's just so tedious to actually make a proper grid with streets, because you can't follow the lot lines. You have to make it like on your own. So if I was to do, let's keep this straight, if I was to do this, right, I'd have to like move and say, oh wait, it's got to be like, I don't know, about here, right? And you don't know that. And if I was to build on this line, then you've gone a little too far. Right? There's room in the middle, and that's what some people were talking to me about when I was doing the kind of Let's Play thing for the last closed beta. Is they said, oh, just do it for every other line and it will work. And I'm just showing you here that it doesn't. It's actually too much room. So it's kind of unfortunate. But I mean, there's really nothing else you can do. I did ask Maxis to kind of put in an option, like say if you're doing a script, you know, you can hold down shift to make your streets nice and straight, but let's say you hold down, I don't know, shift and A, that would change your lines to support maximum density or something like that. Kind of the same with upgrading streets. You know, it's a real pet peeve of mine. That's why I did all high density, because you have to do it section by section by section. And when you put in something like a high school, like you have to do these two sections because there's a little tiny intersection here, right? So you might miss a piece. It's just completely tedious and unneeded. And so what I want to do is just say if I want to upgrade my avenue to a streetcar avenue, I just want to drag this all the way down. But of course, you know, logic says no. In this game, anyway. Ocean should be a politician. I don't know about that, but it would definitely be interesting. There is a grid tool, right? Well, you can make square roads, but there's really no, you know, difference here. So I can build them like this, and they kind of snap, right? Like they kind of get stuck here, even if I move my mouse around a bit. But that's definitely not big enough, and they don't really snap at any other point. So if I was to make a square, that's it right there. Like that's where it snaps to. So there's no other way to get rid of it. Turn grid off. It won't snap? How do I turn off the grid? Is there a certain button to press? Just the guides button here? Okay. But now I don't know where exactly to do it. Like there's no tiles. I guess I'm just so used to tiles, but there's, for example, in SimCity 4 you wanted to go maybe every 8 tiles before building another road. Didn't matter what kind of road it was, but you wanted to wait for 8 tiles. But here there's no indication. I just kind of have to guess. There's no measurement tool or anything to say, oh, this is X amount of meters away from the road, and thus you want to put in another road. So, yeah. Some people have said that, you know, I've gone on about it for too long, but, you know, it is something that I find to be a fundamental problem, along with tile size, and always online. And I don't think anybody said, yes, always online, that is a good feature to include in SimCity, you know, because it's absolutely restrictive. I mean, just look at what happened yesterday, and some people still can't get in today. And I was watching Total Biscuit, and he was getting kind of upset about this too. He's like, roads overlap. I mean, that's the whole point of what you want in this setup, is you want the roads to overlap. Like, you want that to happen, because when you overlap roads, you get an intersection. But no. Game's just finicky, and you have to basically be at its mercy. And so I hope that, you know, Maxis continues to get the funding it needs from EA to continually patch and update the game, despite us already paying for it, because most people have pre-ordered. I'm sure they've made their money back already in pre-orders or very close to it, so they could just be like, oh, we got your money, screw you guys, and just leave us in the dark with this, you know, some people have called it half-finished game. And some of the reviews, I think, have changed based on, you know, the support issues and the always online stuff. I think it went from like, from one reviewer, from like a 9.5, like that's ridiculously high in my opinion. It went from like an 8.5 to an 8 because they cited connection issues.